And welcome back to redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. I'm your host Mikey, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to apply sachet to a finished project. I'm going to show you 3 different examples on ways and ideas to consider when attaching your sachet. This item, when you go to look at it, when you pull out the bottom side, it's not sachet all the way through. There's a foundation underneath in order to make it work. Now this particular tutorial today, it doesn't even matter what kind of sachet it is, as long as it's a mesh just like so, it's going to be very easy to use. I'm going to show you ways to make it more roughly, make it not roughly. There is a seam line. I'm going to show you how to avoid that, and I'm going to show you how to add and subtract your sachet onto your projects. So let's get started right now. So in today's example, this is just a simple little baby dress. It looks absolutely phenomenal because the sachet is being added to it. Now when you go and look underneath the dress, you will notice that there's no sachet on this side. This is just the foundation for where the sachet is attaching. Now the sachet, when you're going to attach, if you really do pin back everything, you can see that there are spaces in between the sachet. And what you'll notice too is that the way that we go to apply it, there's actually a seam line going on underneath. And because of the way that I've gone in the direction I've gone, this naturally falls over the seam line. So even if this wasn't here, you would see that there was no seam line. It's just popping out of the work. And this is so important because on the top here, you see how it's raising up and not just falling flat so you can see a seam line. It is a really interesting way to apply. So when you're thinking about doing this with the project, you have to think about what is up, what is down, and what kind of ruffles you really want to create. So let's get started on more examples now. The secret to working with the sachet after the project has been completed is to have access to the stitches that are available. So if I did regular double crochet, so I'm going to chain up 3 right now, and I just did regular double crochet, you will see that these 2 lines here are not going to be there. And so what you need to do is that you need to have foresight. You need to plan ahead on how you want to attach your sachet, because if you don't leave a line there, you're going to have nothing to attach to. So the secret to doing this, in order to create these lines, and especially if this is on a sachet pillow, for example, one line will be completely back loop and the other side will be completely front loop. So to achieve that, you're going to wrap the hook, and do you see how there's 2 lines on your particular stitch there? You want to go, in this case, you want to go to the back so that the line comes forward. So essentially what's going to happen eventually when we come to the sachet part is that the sachet is going to work in the front loop just like you see. So we're going to zip all the way to the end of this line, and this is a really great example of being able to apply your ruffles. Now you'll be noticing that I am actually doing double crochet right now, and the simple reason is that because the sachet is so bulky, I don't think I need to do single crochet because I think I'll have too much bulk when it comes to applying the sachet. So I'm going to go all the way to the end using the back loops only, and I'm going to turn this around. And the reason for showing you that is that the back side has nothing, because all of the loops are being left in front. So in this case now I want the front loop to still pop out. So when I turn it around, I want to grab only the front loops. So 1, 2, 3. I only want to grab the front loops this time. So of the 2, just like you see, I'm only going to grab the one that's closest to me. That's the front loop. And I'm going to double crochet with that. And I'm just going to do a few more, and I'm going to turn it around and show you what happens. So when you're working on this, as long as you know what to look for, it turns out to be really easy. So I've just done a few. It's still flat on the back, but you can see that there's another line forming as a result of doing that. So let me finish this line, and I'm going to show you how to apply your sachet to this next. So now I have my sachet mini. This just happens to be sachet mini, and what I want to do is that I want to pull it apart. So you can see that there's a mesh work. So as long as you have the mesh work within mesh yarn, you can do the same concept. This is how I would attach. So what we need to do is that we need to look for where these lines are. And we can clearly see where it's happening here. And so for example, I want to pull my hook. I want to come in from the back side so that these lines are up. And I just want to grab this entire yarn and pull it through. And this is how I'm going to get started. People do not want to see these loose ends hanging out of a project. So how I do it is I pull it through the first loop area right here, and what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to go a few stitches over, and I'm just getting a piece of string, grabbing the yarn like this. So just create another loop, and what I want to do is I want to grab the straggler once again and pull it through. And what this is going to do, it's going to tie it into the knot around that particular post. And then I can simply just cut that. So that's how I would apply this yarn to this project. Therefore you'll never see a stopping or starting when it comes to the outside of this project. So now what I want to do is that I need to determine what is up and what is down. I've kind of already done that without telling you, but this is going to be my bottom. So what happens is that the seams will stay underneath. So this, if this is bottom, the next one is bottom. If this pillow turns over, you're going to start seeing the seam. So let me just show you how this is going to work. And simply all I need to do is just open up this mesh. And this gets a lot easier if it's closer to your body than it is to be on the camera where I am right now. I simply just want to come into the very next loop that you see, and you just simply just slide underneath like this. And what I want to do is that I want to just open up the mesh, and I've skipped one loop. Okay, so you see the very last loop. I've gone to the second. Well, there's one right there. So I'm going to go to this one, and I'm going to pull it through and just leave it there. I'm going to come immediately to the very next front loop that's available to me and pull through, push through, and I'm going to leave the next loop empty and grab the second and pull it through that, the string that was on the top there, the front loop plus the one other loop. And I simply just want to keep moving along. Now what's going to happen is, say you want more ruffles, you can just skip over 1, 2 and go to the third if you want, but you have to be very conscientious that if you skip too many of those, you're going to run out of yarn faster because you're obviously using more loops. So you simply just keep moving along like so. So what's going to happen now is that if you look at this project, you will see that there's definitely a seam line going right here. Do you see it? It's right there. So when I told you that this is bottom, what's going to happen is that when you turn it up like this, you'll never see a seam because it's being covered by the mesh. But if your pillow is upside down, for example, in this bottom area, you will see a seam when it goes to relax. So all you just need to do is just go across on the line. So I'm just going to do that off camera, and I'll see you in just a second, because I need to give you a tip, because you can't just keep using this yarn. You have to fasten off and start over from the start once again. So I've now come all the way to the end of the line, and I'm still on the material right now, and what I want to do is that I need to fasten off. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to grab some scissors and just cut this sachet. Snip, snip. And what I want to do, and this is my own technique by the way, it's just for my own peace of mind, is that I'm going to take this whole thing and just pull it through that remaining loop. And then what I want to do is this, I don't want to pull too much, but I want to just slip my hook. I'm going to pull this material back and slip the hook from the back side coming forward, and I want to grab that yarn and pull it through to the back side. Especially if I was going to do a pillow, I'd want to do this. So now I'm on the back side, and you can see on the back side that you don't see any evidence, barely any evidence. This is where I tied it on before, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to come over a couple more stitches and just grab this yarn, pulling it through, and then just grab it again and just pull it through that loop like this, and then just tighten it onto itself. So then I would cut it. So now you'll never have any loose ends popping out of the front of your particular project. And essentially, if I want to begin once again, is that I'm just going to start back. I'm going to fasten on just like I did and work my way across. And you can see that this is already ruffling up just like so. So when you get layer on top of layer, it'll really fill in quite nicely. And this is what the back looks like. So the whole concept of why you cannot just keep going and go in this direction, if you go and turn it around in this direction, what's going to happen is that the seam lines will change sides. So for example, you need to commit. So the seam line is on this side right now. So if I go and I just continue this and I come down this side, the seam line is going to be in the opposite side. Therefore you're going to have two rows with a huge honking seam right through two rows. That'll be very visible. So when you're planning on this, you have to make sure you know what is up and what is upside down so that you don't see the seam at all. So that's our first example today. My second example today, I'm going to show you what I would do if it were a hat. Do you notice that the center is doing like a snail? It's coming around in a continuous circle. I'm the queen of doing circles when it comes to doing any kind of hats. I like it. There's no seam lines. So what I want to do for a particular hat, so normally you would go into the stitch and you would just carry on and blah blah blah. But you can't just go into any stitch. See how I just lost that line? It just went missing as I'm going all the way around. So basically this line just stopped as a result of not paying attention to the pattern. So what I want to do is that when I'm working with this as well is that because we're going in a continuous revolution, I always want to use the back loops only. Just like so. So this one has 2. And so then this will cause that line to continually revolve around so that you never have to slip stitch, you never have to fasten off. You can just apply your sachet in a continuous circle, and then basically once you run out, then you are going to be really cool. Now if you're doing something like this, what I strongly recommend is that once you start coming close to the end and you say you get to the size you want, I would do a half double crochet twice. This is just my own free forming I'm doing. I do a single crochet and I would revolve around this whole thing in single crochet on the back loop only again. And what this is gonna do is that that's gonna push that seam line really close to the edge, so you can apply your sachet as close to the edge without actually being on the edge. And it's a great way to be able to monitor that. So off camera I'm just going to circle all around, and you can see how it went really big here, and then you can see this. So I'm gonna bring my sachet back to where it's nice and thin so that we can start applying that and go through some of the techniques at that particular point. So when I follow it around, you can see it's nice and thin, and basically I'm here, and so in the very final, before I'm just finished, I'm just gonna do a slip stitch twice to fasten off. So now no matter where you are, this distance right here to here is the same as this distance right from right to here to here. And so I'm just going to slip stitch and make sure that it kind of balances each other. And now I'm going to fasten off with that particular yarn, and then we're going to bring on the sachet to begin. And so let me just do that. I'll be right back in just a moment. Now the trick with doing this kind of thing when it comes to dresses or hats and etc. is knowing where to start. So the actual answer is to start right where you finished and work in this direction right here. So you notice we've been coming around. I need you to come in so that it's looking like this, and we're going to start going up all the way around. Watch this line. So do you see this line here? Watch what happens when you rotate it. It's automatically going to move up on its own. So when you look at it from a center point of view, you can see that it goes up like a snail. And so essentially what's going to happen is that I'm going to bring my sachet and keep attaching, keep attaching, keep attaching, and it's going to naturally end up back at the center to where there are no more back loops to work with. So let's bring on our sachet now, and again we're using the Bubbles Sachet Mini, and I want to fix it. So I'm going to fix it just like I did with the other one coming in the last one, and I already showed you how to do it. So just do the same thing. We want to come through the back, just bring it through, and affix it on the back, and I'll see in just a moment. Okay, so my sachet has now been affixed to the back just like I did it with the other example, and now it's time to open it up just like this. And so when I open it up, I kind of open it up so that the bottom, which is the larger part of the sachet, is kind of up like so. Okay, so we're going to open it, and I'm immediately going to look for the first back or front loop just like you see here. And I'm immediately going to skip and go to the second loop in and pull through. And now we're going to go to the next loop that's available on the project, and I'm coming toward me, and immediately skip the first one, go to the second and pull it through. And you're essentially slip stitching this into position as you're going all the way around like so. So going every other one makes it really nice and easy. So we never started off in the middle. You kind of think that you'd want to start off in the middle and work your way down. The problem is if you start off in the middle and work your way down, it turns it so that the seam is on the upper side. By working from the bottom and going up, it keeps the seam under your project so that your sachet will flop over the seam so that you'll never see it. So this whole section of doing the single crochet around, this sachet is going to overlap that, so you basically will be able to hardly tell where your edging is of your actual real project if you're working on it. So this is a great way to be able to do that. So let me finish this off camera. I'll bring right back and show you what the finished looked of applying this. So for example, when you look at it from the top, you don't see a seam. You look at it from the bottom, you definitely have a seam. So I'm coming all the way around, and I just wanted to bring something to your attention. And basically these ruffles here, as you start working your way around, you'll notice that they appear to get in your way. I have to tell you, you have to persevere through that, because if they're not getting in your way, then that means that your project is going to be very sparse and that the ruffling effect that you're trying to achieve is not going to work. So it's going to be too sparse, you're going to see through it, it's not what you want. So in this particular one, because it's a hat and I'm moving inward, you'll see that there's more space, but you'll find that if you're working on, for example, the baby dress that I showed in the very intro of this video, is that it gets really sometimes difficult, and what you just have to do is just take the layers and just peel them. Now when you did that, did you just see that? When I pulled on it, you will see that it will all shift and pull out like this, and that's a good thing, but you just have to do that once in a while to get those to get out of your way so that you can lace crochet this all the way around. I don't want to deny you the fact that, oh yeah, it's so easy, you don't even have to think about it. Sometimes in crochet you have to think about it, and just think about your steps as you go, and this is what makes it better from working on the bottom going upward anyway, is that at least it's out of your way so that you can at least crochet. So let me carry on. I'll see you back when I get to the top. So I've now just finished using all of the front loops going all the way around, and you notice I have a big honkin' space right in the middle. So what I want to do at this point is that you've run out of front loops to work with, so all I'm just going to do is that I'm just going to grab my yarn and just go into random spaces at the very top of this. So if this was a hat, I would just go into some random spaces, just go under something just to grab onto it, and just keep applying your sachet in, and what that will do is it'll fill in that unsightly gap that's at the top. So just simply just going in, just probably have the other one, just grabbing it. So then this will still make it puffy on the top, and it's a great way to fill it in like so. So when I'm done this, what I want to do is that I want to fasten this off exactly the same way that I did the other one example already in front of this tutorial today. And what I want to do is that I want to just go down through, not through the exact center, but I want to come down close to it and then just tie it off on the inside. So I can do that, and when I come back I'll have this remaining done, and I'll show you what it looks like fastened off. And it's the same technique, so I don't need to show you that again. So here's my finished example, and as you can see, it just started off as just a very simple idea. I did come in, fasten it into the middle, and you can see just even by going into the center that it looks amazing. So if you turn it up like this, so you'll see the seam underneath, but because we started at the bottom of the revolutions, is that it naturally falls over so that you'll never see the seams. Once you're done with these kind of projects, give it a good shake, because that sachet will totally open and totally make a wonderful flower or anything that you would like to make. Just this does look like a shower loofah. You cannot use this in the shower, just so that you're aware, because I know somebody will ask me. So let's begin our third example now. So my third example today, this is what the child's dress looks like without any of the sachet added to it. So this is the top, this is the bottom. I purposely left this so I knew which one was bottom. Do you see how the stitches are going like this? So what basically, as I finished it off, I went narrow and narrow so I can continue to follow. So I'm going to attach my sachet on this line right here. So on the baby dress, on the pattern, you will notice that it's single crochet, just very much like the last example that we did, to keep this nice and consistent going around before it dives up like that. And so if you follow that line all the way around, you will notice that it naturally, just keep going, see, it just is staying in the middle, and now it's going up and up and up. So the child's dress that you're going to be working on, if you decide to do that pattern, is working in the very same way. It's attaching exactly the same way. So right at the bottom, I'm going to come up through the back end of the bottom side of it. I'm going to grab the yarn, pull through, and I'm going to affix the yarn in. So this is one of those, sometimes in the dresses it gets kind of hard to get your hook back there, but it's totally worth the effort. Take your time. It's a fun little project. Now this is one of those concepts, again, I'm going to say it again, is that it's not a quick process. It's not one of those you're going to whip it on and off the hook. It took me about 7 hours to do that baby dress, and most of it was the meshing itself. And it, you know, I kind of got tired of it a bit, but in the sense that I knew it was going to be amazing, so I just fought my way through it as I went. So now that I've affixed it on the back, again, this is the bottom of the dress, so I always want to come up from the bottom side, never from the top, so that the seam stays underneath. And all I'm just going to do is just open up that mesh. Once you get that mesh opened, it gets a lot easier. And then I'm just going to come into the next one, like so. Again, skipping over one, going to the second. pulling it through. Come to the next one. The advantage with the baby dress is that, you know, around as you go in the circle, the advantage of the baby dress is you go in circles that I increase stitches to make it more bell-shaped. And because of that, the higher that you go in the dress, the less stitches become around because the bell is growing out toward the bottom in the middle of the particular dress. So it actually speeds up. So it gets faster and faster as you get more revolutions done. So just like you would have done on the other projects, you're going to go in a continuous circle all the way back up to the top. If there's any knots within this project, which could be throughout the ball, there could be a knot or two, all you have to do is cut the knot out, okay? And then basically, just like we joined it here, just make sure you just bury it in and then just start your next one from one stitch behind it in order to keep it looking consistent. It's just a process. This kind of yarn, it's so fabulous, but sometimes something happens during manufacture or the spool runs out and they just tie a knot into it. They don't do it to inconvenience you. They do it so they don't basically put a lot of yarn into the landfill. So this is a great example. So let me finish this and I'll be back in just a moment and I'll show you exactly how it's working at this point. So here's the same example all finished now. I've gone through my revolutions, you can see. So the seam line is underneath here, it's underneath here because we've gone in a continuous revolution. So if the dress is turned up like this, you will see the seam line coming out like that. You turn the dress the other way, you can no longer see the seam lines as it's just 100% sachet just popping out of the work just like this. So you can virtually apply a sachet to anything that you want to do. It makes it fun and fabulous. All you just need to do is plan on doing the back loops so that you have something to attach to. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of redheart.com as well as the Crochet Crowd. Stay tuned for more free ideas and tutorials. Until then, we'll see you.